Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, May 11th. I think it's almost been 2 months since I've seen you guys. I hope everybody is doing well. I definitely miss seeing you guys. So, a couple things I want to talk about summer school. I sent out the link several times last week. I'll send it out again. If you're interested in summer school, you need to click on that link and you need to fill out the form. We're also asking people that aren't interested in summer school, but that are interested in the fall session to still go ahead and fill it out. And then there's a section where you say, are you interested in summer school? Say, if you're not interested, say no, but I want to come back in fall. Okay, that will help the principals know how many teachers we need in the fall. And if you're wanting to come to summer school, the quicker you do this, it'll also let them know how many teachers they need in the summer. So please please go through the link and answer a few questions about summer school. Next, this is our second week of GED testing. So just know that it's happening. If you're ready, talk to me and let's get you signed up. We got several people signed up last week. In fact, we have people taking the test today, and I wish them well. All right, today we're going to review a lot of stuff because we can never forget this stuff that we did a couple weeks ago. But the quiz is mainly, I chose a chapter on pretty much everyday life. So you'll find that the quiz is just shopping and things like that. But I don't want to forget all this stuff, so let's review it. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to press pause, do these two problems, and I'll see you back here in a minute. I hope you really do press pause. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're working these problems out. Okay, the square root of 144 is what times what will give me 144? Well, 12 times 12. And the square root of 36 is what times what will give me 36, and that's 6. So right now for this, we have 12 over 6. Well, we know that that can reduce. 6 will go into 12 two times. So we end up with a solid 2. 2 times 7 is 14, and that's my final answer. Here we're looking for the square root of 64. We're saying what times what gives me 64 where the numbers are the same, and that's 8. And then we're saying 2 times 2 times 2. So it's not 6, it's 2 times 2 times 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 more is 8. So we have 8 over 8. Anytime the number is top is the same as the number on the bottom, the answer is 1. When will you see these questions on the GED? I believe you'll see them in the first 6 questions where you will not be allowed a calculator. That's when I think those are going to pop up. Okay, here we go. I have 2 questions for you. I'm trying to make sure you can read them. Let me slide it up. Go ahead and do those. Press pause, and I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, so what is the probability of getting a head on a quarter and a number bigger than 2 on a dice at the same time? Okay, this is compound probability. We did several lessons on this. Okay, the chance of getting a head on a quarter is 1 out of 2. The chance of getting a number bigger than 2, did not say 2 and bigger, bigger than 2. So that would be a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 chances over 6 out of 6. There's 6 numbers on a dice. Now we can multiply. Now you can use your calculator if you want. You can multiply straight across if you want. You can cancel this way diagonally if you want. I'm going to just do it this way this time. So 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 6 is 12. They both can be divided by 4. So the chance of getting a head on a quarter and rolling the dice and getting either a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6 is 1 out of 3. Okay, then you have this one. If I buy 4 gallons of milk for $12, how much would 5 gallons cost? Okay, this is actually a ratio question, ratio and proportion, but honestly, you could do it so many ways. I'm going to first do it by way of ratio and proportion. So what it is, and you'll find out that there's a much easier way in this question, but I don't want you to forget how to do it this way. So for 4 gallons, you spend $12. And I remember when we did ratios, I always said I probably like to do it this way, so that way you can remember gallons across from gallons, dollars across from dollars. Okay, so then there's a 5 gallon, so gallons across from gallons, and we don't know the amount here. So we would say 12 times 5 is 60. We would say 4 times x is 4x. Uh-oh, we got to reduce. This would give me x equals, and then let's see how many times, what would that be, 15? 60 divided by 4 equals 15. Okay, so the 5 gallon would cost $15. Now, to me, there's an easier way on this particular question. If you buy 4 gallons for $12, 4 will go into 12, and that's 3. So that means each gallon is $3. So if you bought 1 gallon, it'd be 3. If you bought 2, it would be 6. So if you bought 5 times 3 is 15. That to me is a little easier, but I don't want us to forget this way because there are questions you absolutely have to use this method. All right, here's another one for you to do, and I wrote you can do this. Press pause. By the way, this is the ocean. This is her house. Press pause and work on that, and I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to get this adjusted a little better. All right, so if Carol walks 12 blocks south and 16 blocks west to get to the ocean. So let's just talk about that. So she'd go 12 and 16. So from her house to the ocean, 12 plus 16 is 28. So she walks 28 blocks to get to the ocean. Now, on the way home, she takes a diagonal shortcut. By the way, there's a good chance you could get the same kind of question minus the picture. No picture. Now, if she walks diagonally home, her trip home would be like this. I don't know if you notice, but this looks like half of a rectangle or a triangle. And what kind of triangle is it? It's a right triangle. So what kind of question could I do to figure out how far her walk home is? Pythagorean theorem. Because what I actually have is this. Okay, that's a Pythagorean theorem. So I know that the unknown is c because always across from the right angle is the c. So here's my a and here's my b. So if I use my formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Did you use this when you were trying to do it by yourself? I hope you did. This is 12 squared. This is 16 squared. And this is, hey, I don't know. Well, 12 squared is 144, 12 times 12. 16 times 16, I think it's 196, but I do not trust myself this early. Oh, no, I'm glad I didn't. 256. 16 times 16 is 256. Where did I get that? I think I got 13 times 13. Okay, 256 equals c squared. Now I add those up. 256. Well, look what I did. I said 256 and wrote 296. Oh my goodness. It's Monday morning. 256 plus 144 equals 400. So I have 400 equals c squared. And now remember, I need the square root of 400. I need what times what gives me 400, which is 20. So I find out this is 20. Is that my answer? No, because look at the way the question was. She takes a diagonal shortcut home. How much shorter is her walk home? Well, we said her walk to the ocean was 28. Her walk home is 20. How much shorter? 28 minus 20 is 8. Okay, so that would be the answer to that, 8 blocks. All right, here we go. This one is 4 questions. I would like you to press pause and try to do as many as you can. Just to give you a heads up, this is not the best drawing. This is my hot tub. Its radius is 5. This is a concrete walkway area, whatever. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Press pause. I'm sure you'll be gone a long time. That's a lot of work. I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, number 1, I say the radius of the hot tub is 5 feet. Oh my goodness. I meant to say, what is the diameter? That was supposed to be question number 1, and I left that out. Well, if the radius is 5, that's halfway across. The whole way across would be 10. Okay, well, sorry about that first one. What is the area of the hot tub? Okay, so now we just want to know the area of the hot tub. We know that the radius is 5. We also know the diameter is 10. But remember, area is pi r squared. So we don't need this. So I need to say pi is 3.14 times 5 in my calculator, or I can say 3.14 times 25, either way. 3.14 times 25, and I get 78.5. So the area of the hot tub is 78.5. We're going to need that later, okay? So now let me go ahead down. The next question, or the next bit of information. The concrete that surrounds the hot tub has a diameter double the hot tub. Okay, remember we said the diameter is 10. If the concrete that surrounds it is double the hot tub, if this is 10, that means this is 20. That's the diameter. The diameter is 20. So what is the diameter of the hot tub? The diameter is 20. By the way, make a note to yourself. If the diameter is 20, what is the radius? Radius is always half. So half of 20 is 10. Now don't get confused. Up here the diameter was 10 and the radius was 5. Well, if we're doubling, it only makes sense that if the radius was 5 here, the radius would be 10 here. All right, here's the big question. Honestly, the GED would not give you any of this. It would just ask you this question. But I give you this to understand the steps of getting to the answer to this question. What is the total area of just the concrete? They want to know the concrete around the hot tub. They don't want to know about the hot tub. They want to know this area. But we needed this because what we're going to do is we're going to get the area of this whole circle and then subtract the area of the hot tub. So we know that area is pi r squared. Okay, we know that the radius of the whole concrete area is 10. So we're going to say 3.14 times 10 times 10. Or we could say 3.14 times 100. And when we get that, we should get, like right here, all we're going to do is we're just going to, oh, for heaven's sakes, it'll just move our decimal over. So what we have is 314. See that? We had 3.14 times it by 100 is moving our decimal twice. So our answer is 314 for the area of all of this. Now they only want to know this much, this outside. So we have to take our 314 and we have to subtract the area of the hot tub, which was 78.5. Do I think you'll get one like this on the GED? I would expect you would. Maybe it could be a circle, it could be two rectangles, minus 78.5. My final answer is the area of the concrete is 235.5. That's my final answer. Square feet or square, square feet. If you didn't get that, I would say pause, rewind, look at it again. Okay, we're getting to the end. 32% of America, I want to make sure I didn't skip one. Okay. 32% of Americans love vanilla ice cream. If 900 people were surveyed, how many people like vanilla? We did percents, and then this one is principal. Remember, formula for interest. Is principal times rate times time. Go ahead and do these two. I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, 32% of Americans love vanilla ice cream. If 900 people were surveyed, how many like vanilla ice cream? So if you're wanting to use this model, blank percent, blank up, blank is, 32% goes here. Is 900 everybody, or is it the ones that like vanilla? Well, it's everybody, so that's my whole, so that's this. Remember, we only get to divide if we know the is. If we don't know the is, we have to multiply. So we're going to multiply. And remember, we don't do math with the percent sign, so we move it 2 places. So what we're going to say in our calculator, or if we had to do it by hand, is 0.32 times 900. So 0.32 times 900. So we find 288 people out of 900 like vanilla. Okay, here we have an interest question. Principal times rate times time. I borrowed 5,000. That's my principal. For 18 months. That's my time. Now remember, time always, always, always has to be in years. So 18 months in years. So you could do it this way because there's 12 months in a year, so you could figure it out, or you might just know, well, there's 12 months, there's one set of 12 months in 18, so you know that you've got a year. And then if you take 12 away, that's 6 months. So you have 6 months, a year and 6 months. And a year and 6 months is the same as a year and a half. Or you could do it this way, and you could, reduce it down. You could say, hey, they both can be divided by 6. That gives me 3 over 2. And 3 over 2 is the same as 1.5. And then what you would want to do is say 1.5 is the same as 1.5. So my time is 1.5. And the last thing we need is the rate, and the rate is 3%. But remember, just like here, we cross out the percent sign, and how many times do we move it? 2 times. So we're going to be timesing by 0.03. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go in our calculator. We're going to say 5,000 times 0.03 times 1.5. So 5,000 times 0.03 times 1.5. That gives me 225. Now be careful. What is this 225? Well, that's how much I'll pay in interest. So the interest is 225. Now you have to read the question carefully. Does it want to know the interest, or does it want to know how much you would pay over the period of the loan? This question says how much interest. So that's it. That's my answer. But if it would say how much would you have paid over the total period of the loan? Well, you would have paid 225 plus the 5,000 you borrowed. So your answer would have been 5,225. You've got to read those questions very carefully. Okay, keyword, Monday. Everybody remember that. Today is Monday, keyword. And I just am fascinated by the people when I have that question, did you watch the video? And they say yes. And then when I say, what's the key word? They say, I didn't see it. So that makes me realize they watched about 1 second of the video. Okay, this is important to know. Let's talk about changing fractions to percents and percents to fractions. Okay, so if I have this right here and I need to change it to a percent, I have 2/5. There are a bunch of ways to do it, but the way that always works is you divide the bottom number into the top. So what I'm saying is, how many times will 5 go into 2? And it won't. So I add a decimal and I add a 0, and 5 will go into 20 4 times. So the answer is 0.4, but it wants it in percent, so I have to go 1, 2, and put 40%. If you're going in your calculator, you're going to say 2 divided by 5. If you were to write 5 divided by 2, you'd get a totally different answer, so it's very key how you put it in. Let's do this one on the calculator. So I'm going to say 3 divided by 8 equals 0.375. Now I'm going to move my decimal 2 places, and I'm going to get 37.5%. That's my answer. What if you have a percent? You need to change it to a fraction. Well, we just put it over 100. No matter what the number is, it goes over 100. And then, hey, look, I can reduce that right away by getting rid of those zeros, so it becomes 7/10. This one right here, I put over 100. What can they both be divided by? They both can be divided by 4. How'd I do it that quick? Well, if you divide $1 into 4 parts, think about that. What do you have? You have 4 quarters. All right, this one, go ahead and do these two, and I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, so on this one, you could have put in your calculator 6 divided by 8. That would be perfect. Or you could have said, hey, I can reduce both of these by 2. This is another option, which gives me 3/4. Then you could have said 3 divided by 4 in your calculator, or you may just know off the top of your head 3/4 is 75%. Any one of these would give you 75%. This one right here, I need to put it over 100. Maybe you noticed a trick here. It's kind of reverse this. How many quarters are, or how much is 25 cents? It's 1 quarter. How many quarters are in $1? 4. So it's 1/4. All right. So here we go. Just a heads up, the lesson was a review. The lesson we just did was a review on many things. The quiz will cover some of these things we reviewed, but most of the quiz today will remain on basic life skills. So you're just going to get a lot of questions about shopping and tip and tax, which we've also done in the past, but I don't want to just do those and not forget to review all the other stuff. Have a great day. Have a great Monday. Stay strong this week. We are almost done. And like I say, people are starting to sign up. You need to be signing up for GED if you think you're ready. We'll have to talk about that. And I cannot stress to you enough, these are not enough lessons. You have got to do Aztec or Essential Ed. You've got to do those harder chapters in Aztec. You have to do the Osceola GED level. If you're not there yet, finish foundation so you can ask me for the Osceola GED level. Alrighty, have a great day. I will see you back here soon tomorrow. Bye-bye.